Welcome back to the channel. As always, we're back at the allotment, and today's video I'm going to be basically talking about my onions, how I tidy them up and maintain them just a little. And I'm also going to be harvesting some spring onions, like literally that's turned to onions. I've been experimenting with that, guys, so when we get over there we'll be talking about it. But first we're going to be starting off with our turbo onions here, guys. As you know, in gardening we got to keep things kind of tidy, so let me just get this out of the way. This needs to be tidied as well. Right, so basically what we're talking about here is our onions, guys. So as you see, these are my turbo onions. This year growing very lovely, very, I should have put it, very healthy. I don't seem to be seeing any problems with them, guys. So what we've got to also do is just keep it tidy, guys. You know what I'm saying to you? So what I just be coming, I've got a lot of celery plants basically that had seeded here from last season. I'm going to be coming in and just taking them out before they've established too much of a root system. And then now they're competing and so on and so forth, guys. So yeah, let's just keep it tidy, guys. So I'm just going to be basically taking out the stuff around it's basically a bit of a weeding, but also any kind of leaves like this that be touching the ground, I kind of just like to just snip it off, guys, even if it's just like hair, you know what I mean? Just try not to, just try to keep the leaves off the ground. I mean, every leaf is basically a ring around your onion. So we just, once it's already done the ring, it's all good. But what we're trying to do is just maintain the onion. So we're just going to be taking these out. And if they're healthy enough, you can also use them as, spring onion tops or onion tops, guys. Alright, so what we're doing now is just keeping it, there's going to be weeding in between them. And I just wanted to say, if you've got your onions, it's okay if you let the weeds grow, with them. But I just believe less competition means, a better harvest for your onions. So yeah, we're just basically just trying to get all the weeds out, guys. Any kind of dead leaves we see on the actual onions, we can use our fingers, guys, or scissors or something like that, it really doesn't matter. The idea is we're just trying to get off any, leaves that's not growing anymore. And that will also maybe, keep your slug populations down, guys, because all the slugs are trying to do is they just basically come and clean your garden. They work like little, like little cleaners. Sometimes we underestimate them because yeah, they can decimate your crops, but initially their job is to tidy up. So if your plant has like a dead leaf or something, and nature believes it needs to be tidied up, these guys will come in and eat it, and then turn whatever matter back into compost, guys. So everything is there for a purpose. It's just a matter of just keep it under control. Because I do have, slug problems. But the way I keep them under control is by just try to keep the place as tidy as possible. Like I say, not to give them places where they can hide and, basically multiply over time. So as you see, once all hair will be cleaned, the direct sunlight will be coming in. There won't be nowhere for them to hide, and, so when they don't have nowhere to hide, they don't bother staying in your garden, guys, and they do tend to head out, you get me? But yeah, today is just all about just maintaining the garden. I see there's a random, pea plant growing here. Like I say, guys, I never really take out volunteers unless I have to. So now it may also help us giving a little bit of nitrogen, back into the soil. Yeah, anything that's not supposed to be there, guys, we will just basically try to take them out, pull them out. I do it by hands because I don't really want to damage any other plant. I want to kind of see what I'm doing, so I know what I put my hands on and then I can pull. Yeah, sorry guys, today I forgot the mic, so if I'm sounding a little bit distant, I do apologize. Yeah, but here at Live Well we try to do things as organic as possible. We try not to use any no synthetic fertilizer. If we have to use fertilizers, it's all organic, guys. But in general, if you feed your soil properly, your soil will feed your plants, guys. Because we're not really, when we give the fertilizer to the soil, we think that we're actually feeding the plant, but it's more the soil, and then the plant get what it needs from the soil, guys. Yeah. Let's come over this side. Like I said to you guys, it's mostly the celery, because I had a giant celery plant going here that went, you know, into seed, and didn't really get to harvest it on time, but it still, you know, got its seed on the floor, so I will still be able to, like I said, transplant a lot of the celery plants somewhere where they can grow, and that can be my celery bed. But at the moment I've got so many of them, as you can see over that direction, I can afford to just pull these ones out as weeds. But yeah guys, keep the garden tidy, take off the dead leaves, and I'm telling you, it will help with your slug population, yeah? And this is why I'm doing this, is just to keep the slug population down. Allow the wind to go through, allow the sun to kind of penetrate down. Don't give them nowhere to hide underneath. Yeah. Just take it out, any dead leaves like this, any sick leaves, any leaves touching the ground. Yeah guys, we just try to pick them out. If it's like this and it's touching, just pinch it there, let the rest grow. This one is kind of yellow. Just pull it out guys. You know, your plant is only interested in the nice green leaves, you know. Like this is on the ground here. Just pinch it guys. A little bit of maintenance goes a long way, you know, when you're doing the gardening. Like I say, as well as it's no dig guys, you will still have to come along, pull out weeds, you know, do a little bit of maintenance. No dig, sorry, don't mean no work guys. At the end of the bed here, I've got the shallots, so this is where I'll be taking the transplants from, and just to free up the shallots up a bit. But for today, I'm just concentrating on the turbos. Just trying to give them some breathing space and make sure they don't have nothing at their roots, you know, like to just give them problems. Guys, like I say, any dead leaves, don't really need them on the onions guys. That's what brings the slugs or any other plants that you have. Just make sure you're taking off the leaves that looks, you know, unwell. Alright guys, just a quick once over. Just make sure we kind of, you know, we're never gonna get every single thing in the first sitting, as they say, but yeah, over time we just keep having a look at our plants guys. Just look at the leaves that's, you know, that's going to be worth keeping, and the leaves that, you know, that's more of a problem to the plant. So by me doing this, taking out these leaves guys, you know, it doesn't need that no more. This is no longer working, so why not just take it off? And guys, every kind of week or so, or every other week, I'll just be coming down, having a look. Anything that I see is growing, I'll be pulling out. Anything that I may have missed on this sitting is definitely going to be a little bit more bigger next time around, so it'll be a lot easier to pick. But if you notice, if you can see, let's pull this guy out. Now if you notice, and you can have a look at our beds, you can see that they're it's a lot more tidier, a lot more sun is going through, and that's exactly guys like how you would like your beds to be, especially if you're trying to avoid things like slugs and snails. You understand what I'm saying? Right guys, so now basically what I was trying to explain again is, yeah, so this is the best way I believe you can maintain your gardens. Once again, any leaves you see, like leaves like this, it's about to go yellow. You know, it's a bit repetitive, I know guys, but yeah, the message is take off the dead leaves. In the end, you'll have a lot more healthier plants. You'll have a lot more air and sunlight coming through. and you may definitely keep some bugs and some pests away from your garden in the long run. Alright guys, so let's move over to the next set of the garden. Remember I was saying to you about the onions that I've left, so that I'd left over here to grow. Sorry, the spring onions, yeah? So, for example, when you first start growing your spring onions, they may look something like this, you see? These guys are fairly small, and pull them out. You understand? Look something like this, you know? But if you leave them for this season, and you leave them till next year, for when the next season starts, guys, it will grow enough and it will give you spring onions, but these spring onions will have bulbs, right? The leaves will be a little bit bigger, as you can see, right? But today, I'm gonna harvest this, guys, to show you what I'm talking about, right? So this is a spring onion, guys. If you look at it, in theory, it's a spring onion, but it's a spring onion a year later, right? Now, sometimes they will try to flower, but I simply just break the flower bit off and I just allow it to grow, guys. And I'm saying to you, if you notice, you know what I mean, it's not always about size, but I just want to show you that your spring onion eventually will give you an onion bulb. Yeah, so let me just harvest some of them for you today, guys. Just a couple of the big ones so you understand what I'm trying to do. Right, so I'm taking out some of the big ones so you can see what I'm trying to achieve, you understand? So these are, like I said, these are spring onions initially, meant to be grown for mostly the stem. But 1 year, I left them out to grow. Well, actually one of them was growing in my onion bed, and when I came to it, I was like, wow, that's a spring onion. And it does give you a nice, solid, you know, very strong, a spring onion taste of an onion, basically. So this whole onion there is very strong as a spring onion taste. We've got one more here that's fallen, so we'll just take this one here again as an example. So you see, guys, so don't be afraid to try that one time. Just leave a few spring onions from the spring onions you've grown this year. Leave them out for, you know, the whole winter, and then when the spring comes towards the summer, guys, you should have, you understand, spring onions that look like this, or, you know, spring onions that look like onions, guys, right? So I hope, guys, you've enjoyed, you know, this onion kind of video. On this note, guys, I'd like to say let's live well and together we grow, guys. Yeah.